This dog is already on me. Come on, let's get it out of your system. Get it out of your system while we're recording.
Hi. Hi, boy. Hi.
Okay. All right.
What
That's
you
it.
doing?
That's your moment of fame. That's it. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Alan from Blue 7 Content, and as you can see, I am not in my home office studio. I am at this wonderful, beautiful coffee shop called the Tie-Dye Coffee Bean, and I am here with Kelly Stafford,
Yes.
and her husband, Travis Stafford, is behind us, and they together are Tie-Dye Coffee Bean. And why that matters is because this is one of our clients. And as you all know, we do not have a lot of clients that aren't law firms, but this one we do, and we'll get into the story about how that happened at some point. But today I want to kind of turn it over for a few minutes to Kelly. And Kelly, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
They are closed, so they've had a busy day. They've had a busy week. Now it is June, the end of June. You've been open since when?
Since November 6th.
Election day.
Yes.
And I know that because I came in here that day
Yes.
accidentally. But so I guess the first question I want to ask is, talk to me about the coffee shop.
Sure.
And talk to me about maybe why here, why in Surfside, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Well, I've always enjoyed coffee. I've always loved coffee. I find these little coffee shops, when we go out in different places, and I love the community. I love the vibe, and I wanted to kind of create my own little community and serve really good coffee.
It is a great community.
Yes, it is. So I like that. And I wanted to, kind of serve coffee for people. And Surfside, I worked up here. We live in Georgetown. I worked up here part-time for a little hippie shop called Hypsy Gypsy. And the vibe is just kind of perfect for what I wanted because I was raised by a hippie dad. And I really wanted this to be kind of a throwback to the true hippies of the 60s and 70s. And so
I guess that answers the question of how you came up with the name of the coffee shop, right?
Yes.
Did you know that it was going to be somewhat hippie themed all along, or did you just knew?
I knew it was going to be hippie because every time I would go in one, I would call Travis and be like, I found this cool little coffee shop and I want to own my own hippie coffee shop. We were going to make us a hippie coffee shop eventually one day. So
She manifested that.
I did.
We're all about the positive manifestation.
Yes.
So talk to me about you and Travis's background and maybe what your experiences have been. I know you have a very diverse background,
Yes.
both of you. So what in your background prepared you for the day-to-day operation of this? Because this is very different from a lot of other things you've done. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, true. So I've worked retail as long as I can remember. I've worked retail since I was 15, 16 years old. And so I've always had a part-time job in retail or, something like that. And so as far as retail and working with customers and customer service, that's something that I've got. Now, as far as like behind the scenes kind of stuff, I've learned that in more managing roles when I worked for the American Red Cross and ran a department. I have a master's in public administration. So like that kind of business aspect, I have that. We actually owned a bakery up in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Okay.
And so we had a little bit of experience with that. We ran it with family, Travis's family. And so we had kind of that background. And then with me having retail background and knowing, customer service for over 20 some odd years, I felt like we could do it. And I think we are. So
Yeah, I mean, so talk about like how has business been since you opened? We're in, for anyone who doesn't know, we're in a very seasonal area. So this business and most other local businesses survive off of the tourist season, which is now. You opened in non-tourist season.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what made you open in the off season as opposed to this? Or were you just ready to get it started?
I think we were ready to get it started. It took a little longer than we thought with some red tape and all that good stuff.
There's always red tape.
Exactly, always. But we were able to get it going. And I think it was good because it gave us practice for the season. We knew where our bugs were going to be. We kind of got the drinks and the recipes down pat. We kind of got, that type of stuff down pat before everybody came in for the season. So it really helped us actually.
For anybody interested, at some point in this video, I will show you some B-roll of the coffee shop. And if you want to come down here, what's your address?
We are 700 Highway 17 Business South, Surfside Beach, South Carolina, Suite D, but you can see outside our sign, our little sign that's outside. We're next to Discovery Church, Los Cabos Mexican restaurant as well. So,
If you're in the Surfside area, I know a lot of our listeners won't be, but if you are, type in tie-dye coffee bean, come on in. I promise you, you will not regret it. So tell me about a little bit the background of planning for day one, because this was not a coffee shop.
no,
What was this before? What did you have to do to get it ready? Talk to me about that process a little bit.
it was a retail shop. It was actually a shop where a lady made homemade dresses for quinceañeras. So the walls in here were red and black, and it was
That's not what you wanted?
no, that's not what I wanted. But it was very odd. But the space was really cool. It was really kind of comfy feeling. We really liked the landlords. They were just all for us doing this. They were so pro coffee shop for us. They were really good. So we came in, they actually painted for us. They painted it white for us. But Travis actually built the counter himself. We bought everything. We bought all the things on the walls. We bought the refrigerator. We bought, the ice machine, the espresso machine and everything. And so it was just kind of, we were here on pretty much every day, just getting stuff ready in here, whether we were having to paint ourselves, whether we were reupholstering chairs, whether we were, that type of thing. So,
that is the definition of an entrepreneurial spirit, doing it all yourselves. And a lot of our listeners, whether you're a law firm or own another type of business, can probably relate to that a lot. You're doing it from the ground up, especially when you're starting on your own. It's tough and it's scary. What have been some of the biggest worries you all had? Some of the challenges, some of the things that make you all nervous, especially as you were starting and then maybe into this first year? Talk about that.
The biggest thing is, are we going to get customers? Are people going to like us? Are people going to like our coffee? Are people going to, like the drinks that we make and our menu? Are we going to get people that are on vacation? How do we get the word out to let people know that we're here? And so I think that's kind of the biggest thing is letting people, I think we always want to make sure people know we're here. And I think that's the big thing. We want to make sure people come back and that they enjoy us and that they enjoy our restaurant.
Well, that has been a success because you have now, but just crossed last week, your 100th review.
Yes.
And not only that, but every single one of them is 5 stars. Now, mind you, I'm always a little wary of people who have only 5-star reviews, but not in this case. And here's why, because they're all legit. People enjoy the experience of coming in here. And so having all of those reviews has been so great, which kind of leads us into what I want to talk about with marketing. What did you and Travis know about what you were going to need to do for marketing for Tie-Dye Coffee Bean before you opened?
I knew pretty much Facebook and Instagram. And that's pretty much what I even thought TikTok too. I was like, okay, we can do this on Instagram and Facebook. We can do this. We had some friends in the area. Like I said, I worked for HIPPY Gypsy. Maybe she'll spread the word. She helped us spread the word a lot within the community. But that's about it. Like Google reviews, like I had no clue the world of Google. Like it's its own little, spaceship.
Oh, it is. And what we have learned is that local businesses really have to have a Google business presence, right? So you knew the socials were going to be important.
Yes.
Great. You knew word of mouth and referrals was going to be important. You weren't as aware of the importance of a website because you didn't have one.
Nope.
You didn't have your Google your Google business profile set up.
Nope.
So I came in on day one completely by a fluke, y'all. Yes. When I mean fluke, it was a fluke. I was at my chiropractor, which is a few doors down from here. I live right around the corner. And I walked in because someone told me there was a coffee shop open around the corner. And I love coffee shops because I like somewhere to work outside of the house. So a little selfishly, I said, hey, let me make your website. And by the way, do you have a Google business profile? So we started from there, right? We built the website. Within a few weeks, we had it set up. We got the Google business profile going. And has that worked?
Yeah, it's worked because people have come in now. They've looked at our menu online. They already know what they want to order without us having to explain the menu. They're like, oh, I already know this, and my daughter wants this, and my mama wants this. And so they have it already. Plus, a lot of people have read our background. And so they like the background of our story. And they said, I read your story online and it was great. So we decided to come in. So, yeah.
So when you ask, I know you all ask a lot of customers, how'd you hear about us?
Mhm.
What's pretty much the number one response to that?
Google. I just typed coffee near me. That's the biggest
Coffee
thing.
near me,
Mhm.
folks. So one of the first things that I did when I was developing the website is develop location pages to make sure that they are ranking for coffee in Surfside Beach, South Carolina, right? Because there are some pretty strong competitors around
Oh,
here, aren't
yeah,
there?
100% there are. Yeah.
We have, a local coffee shop is kind of celebrity owned,
Mhm.
not A-list celebrity, but, famous enough to get some great backlinks for our listeners who know why that's important. They get a lot of news coverage that helps overall with their business, their
Mhm.
online presence. We have some other chains in town
Mhm.
that, especially one that's just open. But what I think the proof in the pudding has been those reviews. You have a
Mhm.
lot of return customers, right?
Yes.
A
Yes.
lot of people coming back. You're continually reinventing new drinks to bring to the menu to think about how to add to it. So, I mean, I'm glad that the online presence is working.
Mhm.
What do you see this next year going? What are some plans in the future you and Travis have for this space and maybe other spaces?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely would love to get it up to where we could either add a second location or maybe move to a bigger location. So that's definitely something we're constantly looking at how to bring in new drinks, new recipes, looking at the competition. What are people liking? What is like the most popular kind of thing? And can we bring that in here and give it our touch?
Right.
So that's something.
There's also some animal mascots.
Yes.
You saw one at the beginning of the video who may have been in there, but he's laying on the floor now. We have Oscar, who's part of the loyalty program. We have the loyalty cards. You come in and you get, you purchase 10 drinks, you get your 11th drink of $5 or less for free.
Mhm.
So that's been a great for recurring. So let's talk about the coffee shop a little bit more.
Mhm.
What's your favorite drink to make?
My favorite is probably the one that I drink every day. It's the White Rabbit, which is caramel and vanilla. I drink it iced and with espresso. And so we mix it, and I usually use almond milk for me. So
Where did you get the name The White Rabbit?
the White Rabbit, I was looking at when naming some of our drinks, I said, wouldn't it be fun to name it after like 60s and 70s songs?
Mm-hmm.
And so White Rabbit was a song by Jefferson Airplane in the 60s, a kind of funky psychedelic. And so that's where the White Rabbit came from.
Okay, that's your favorite drink to make. What is
Yes.
your most popular drink? What is something that sells more than the rest?
White Rabbit's one of them, but also Cinnamon Girl is another
Mm.
one named after a song. I think it was Neil Young. Yeah, Neil
I'm
Young.
sensing a theme.
Yes. And then we have the Flower Child, which is actually becoming more and more popular, and that's got lavender in it. So a lot of places had stopped selling lavender. So we have people come in here specifically because we still have lavender on the menu.
When everybody else stops serving something, serve it.
Yes.
There's a demand.
Yes.
Maybe not pumpkin spice.
We keep it all year round. We do. We actually
Not
had one
pumpkin
this
spice
morning.
as the summer has kicked in, obviously, for those of you who aren't feeling what we're feeling, it is baking outside.
Mhm.
You all offer, obviously, the regular hot and ice drinks.
Mhm.
You also offer fraps.
Yep, we
So
sure
you
do.
just start out, what kind of fraps do you have?
Pretty much any of our signature drinks, like the White Rabbit, like the Strawberry Fields, we can turn into a frap, or you can just do plain caramel, vanilla, chocolate. So whatever flavor we have, I've had people have strawberry frap. So any kind of flavor we have, we'll be happy to throw it in there. We've had hazelnut, we've had those different kinds as well.
When I was pulling in here to come talk to them today, I saw a golf cart leaving because that's the main mode of transportation in Surfside Beach. Golf cart leaving, filled with fraps. Everybody looked happy, hold fraps, and that's what we want to see. We want people to be happy.
Exactly.
Kelly,
Mhm.
you have some new drinks coming out.
Yes.
They are related to energy.
Yes.
And so I know Starbucks has their refreshers,
Yes.
but I think these are better. Could you talk to us about these drinks?
Yes, because they're Lotus. So Lotus is plant-based energy, basically, and they come in different flavors. So we're starting with 2 to 3 flavors,
Okay.
and we're mixing some recipes that we thought that sounded good and actually ended up tasting very good.
Okay.
But it's all plant-based. The energy or the caffeine that you get from this is not a jolt like espresso. It's more plant-based, and so it kind of gives you a kind of a steadily increasingly caffeine instead of that jolt, and you don't crash as hard. And you kind of feel like you're energetic all day long.
I
It
can
kind of
attest
gives
to
you,
it.
yeah, and it's got different things. I think it gets it from coffee berry. It has ashwagandha in it, which is good for like kind of, yeah, relaxation. And so our one that we've given to people to taste test is one is blue and one is red and one is the Flower Power Fizz and one is the Groovy Blue Wave. And those are going to be our tie-dyed tonics. And so
And they are good,
they are
by the
good.
way. If you need a refresher, I know not everybody likes coffee, right?
Yes.
That's okay. You're a little weird, but that's okay. You come over here and you get this drink, and I can say I've had 2 of them now, and I am very wary of anything energy drink related, but this was fantastic. It tastes great.
Mhm.
I had a calm energy the rest of the day. I didn't get tired. It felt great. So is there
Okay.
anything that I'm not hitting on that you want to hit on?
Basically, come in and work. We have Wi-Fi. We enjoy having people in here during the day working. Bring your dog. We're dog friendly. And people will bring their dogs in here and we give pup cups. So that's actually we're on Bring Fido as well. But we enjoy having people in here and we enjoy the community that we've kind of formed and people who are telling us that they come back because this is their favorite place or that the vibe is just cool in here. And I love hearing that because I feel like that, reflects directly on me
Right.
and our energy here. So
And yet this is a great place to work. They have free Wi-Fi. If you want to come in and spend, what time do you open in the morning?
we open at 6:30.
And they close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can come in and work all day if you wanted to.
Mhm.
They are more than happy to have a conversation with you, and they are also more than happy to let you work.
Yeah.
No pressure either way. And it is a really nice, calm and chill spot. A couple of our Blue 7 employees come over here and do work.
Mhm.
It's a wonderful spot. Thank you so much for taking time with us today. We really appreciate you being here. We're going to spend some time over here quite a bit over the summer. You're going to see more of Kelly, and we'll try to get Travis in a video at some point. We're going to be here a lot. I appreciate your time. And if you want to come on down, hey, I really encourage it. They're ready to have you here.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.